some simple projects. Put my boots on here around the cabin, and put my brand new Danner quarries on. So I'm going to be using the chainsaw today, and I'm going to be cutting out some trees that are overhanging our driveway. There's a cedar tree that's on an angle, and then there's a few dead ones down there that need to come out, and they're kind of hazard trees. So they're not very big, but I don't want them to fall on the driveway. And these aren't very big trees. The cedar one's probably about that big, but that'll be nice for kindling in the winter. I'd like to have a little bit of cedar up here for kindling. That'd be great, as long as it's not rotten. Sometimes you get into those cedars down there and they're kind of rotten. There's not much left, ready to rock and roll. So follow along with the process here. It's going to be pretty simple. I'll keep you posted on the progress. I'm going to bring this camera down, mount the GoPro on some stuff. So keep an eye out. Just follow along. It'll be kind of fun. That's the one I'm after. Look at that. See, it's leaning right over the road. All right, let's cut some trees here. Sure is peaceful down here. Yeah, that's a leaner. That's a big time leaning. So I'm gonna cut that carefully. I just met the neighbor. Oh man. I just met the new neighbor over here. I was cutting wood, and he comes out of the woodwork. I kind of figured he would because I haven't met him yet. I knew the guy who lived here before, but nice guy, super nice guy. So met him, talked to him for a while, kind of walked around the edge of the property here, and told him that I'm just cutting down some dead stuff here on my property, and we kind of established the lines where these are and where our properties are, where they start and finish, and super good, super cool guy. So I'm gonna finish cutting this log up and see if I can get it off the road and drag it out of here. So I'm gonna document that as I go and keep going here. I actually need to go up and get some more bar oil here. So now I'm all tired. We went and hiked and all this hot gear. I should have taken it off. So I'm gonna keep going. ended up getting from cutting some wood here, I ended up getting quite a little, just a little pile of cedar. It wasn't a very big tree. It was rotting. So I don't know if you can see on the bottom, the very bottom part of the tree the middle was rotting out. And so I'm glad I got that down. Yeah, so that was my main little project. It was you'll see the video of it. It was hanging kind of over about a 45-degree angle, hanging over the road. I didn't want that to fall on somebody or block us in or block us out when we're coming up here having fun. So I decided to cut it down, take it out. Preemptive action before it completely died. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot. It always amazes me how many things I have in my mind to do up here, and then by the time I get up here, I can do like maybe one of those things. But it's always good intention. So we are met some. It's funny because I started doing some work down there. See, I was working cutting some trees this morning, and we're cutting that one tree I was telling you about. And as soon as the chainsaw went on, about 5 minutes into it, some guy comes walking out of the woods, wondering what's going on. Who are you? What do you have a chainsaw for? And he just moved in. They moved in maybe, I don't know, a few months ago. So he wasn't quite sure of the property line yet. We actually walked it together and assured him that I was on my property. But he was a super nice guy. And now we know each other, exchanged phone numbers, and it's a cool area. You get into the rural parts of this country, and people kind of watch out. They watch out for their own stuff for sure, but there's a fair amount of watching out for each other. And so I kind of keep tabs on. I know most of the people up in this area, this community. I'm not going to say where it is, but. Yeah, so far everybody's really cool. They're just real laid back, and they just don't want to be around. The whole goal for being up here is to not be around a bunch of people from the city, so you got to respect that. And we're the outsiders. Even though we've owned our property longer than a lot of the people around us. I think there's a house/cabin next door, and it's kind of funny how many people. They move in, and then a couple of winters, and they're done. So, it's one of those things where you got to I think you have to kind of build up to it. If you're going to actually make the move to come up here, you really have to be prepared. We have trail cam footage. I forgot the batteries. The batteries finally died after like 2 years in that thing. Such a great trail cam. We have trail cam footage that we had pointing towards the camera, or towards the cabin this last year, and it was during that massive snowstorm they had up in the northern Idaho, Washington region. And I'm just kind of trying to gauge here. It had to have been piled up. It was drifting really bad. You could see it in the trail cam, just piling up higher and higher. It actually went up to as high as the window. And it probably went higher because I think the trail cam actually shut off for about a month. I think the trail cam just got buried full of snow. So it was probably 4 or 5 feet high. So I am, I've been looking for damage, and I really can't see. I mean, I know it had to have gotten some moisture, maybe in the walls a little bit, but I'm just looking at it. It's gonna kind of coax me into finishing up the trim on this thing and making sure everything's sealed up, because it got really tall, like high amount, just a ton of snow up here, landslides. We had all sorts of stuff going on. But point is, I don't see any water damage or got a lot of mosquitoes out, so I'm kind of keeping an eye out. But I didn't see any water damage or moisture or mold so far in the cabin. I'm kind of standing right out behind it right now. Yeah, so I'm gonna go walk around here a little bit and just see what's going on. I cleared out. See, right down that area right there. You can see into town. You can see a lot farther because we knocked down a whole bunch of trees, as you can see right here. Tree right there knocked down. All those trees knocked down. I got to go in there. again, that was one of the plans. I was gonna go over here and chop all this stuff up into firewood. Like, there's a ton of firewood right there. Look at that thing. So red fir, a lot of red fir and pine. Not much cedar. We got some aspen up over there by where it's a lot of water. But yeah, basically that's what's going on. So just kind of an update. Pretty peaceful. All you can hear is that bird. It's unfortunate we have to go back into the city here in the next couple of days. I never look forward to that. Still snow in the mountains over there.